When you think about your future, does it excite you or does it scare you? For most people, the future is something they drift into. They wake up, go through the motions, and hope that somehow tomorrow will be better than today. But hope alone doesn't build the future. A compelling future isn't something that shows up by accident. It's something you design with intention. You see, the mind needs something to look forward to. Without a vision, without a picture of what's possible, life becomes heavy. People lose their spark because they stop seeing tomorrow as exciting. That's why it's not enough to just pay the bills, just survive, just get by. If you want energy, if you want purpose, if you want to wake up every morning ready to give your best, then you must create a future so compelling that it pulls you forward. Think about it. What gives people resilience through the toughest times? It's not just strength, it's vision. The student who studies late into the night isn't motivated by the exam. It's the dream of who they will become after passing it. The entrepreneur who pushes through rejection isn't driven by the struggle. They're driven by the company they see in their mind's eye, the difference they want to make. The athlete who trains at dawn isn't inspired by the sweat. It's the championship that fuels them. The future has power when it's vivid, when it's clear, when it feels real. If your future is blurry, your actions will be half-hearted. But if your future is vivid and alive in your imagination, you'll find yourself taking steps you didn't even know you were capable of. That's why the most successful people in the world don't just have goals, they have a vision. They create a picture of their future so strong that it becomes magnetic, pulling them into action. But here's the catch. A compelling future isn't just about big houses, fancy cars, or money in the bank. Those things can inspire you for a while, but they're not enough to sustain you long term. A truly compelling future connects to your values, to what matters most to you. It's about the person you'll become, the contribution you'll make, and the fulfillment you'll feel. So ask yourself, what would your life look like if you stopped drifting and started designing? What if you had such a clear, exciting vision of your future that you couldn't help but wake up early, stay focused, and move forward every day? What if your future was so compelling that it gave you energy in the present, even before it arrived? That's what this video is about. I want to show you how to create a future that excites you, empowers you, and gives you the strength to take action now. Because when your future is compelling enough, your present changes instantly. You stop needing to push yourself. You're pulled forward by a vision greater than your circumstances. That's a question worth asking yourself. When you wake up in the morning, do you feel drawn by the promise of what's ahead? Or do you feel stuck in the cycle of just getting through the day? Because here's the truth. If the future doesn't excite you, the present won't sustain you. Without something ahead to look forward to, life starts to feel heavy, routine, and dull. You see, too many people drift. They let life happen to them. They follow the same patterns, the same routines, the same motions, day after day, year after year, as if time will magically improve things on its own. But drifting never builds a future worth living. Drifting is like a boat without a rudder. It goes wherever the current takes it. Sometimes that current is kind, but more often it pulls you somewhere you never intended to be. And then you look around one day and wonder, how did I get here? Designing your future, on the other hand, is completely different. It's like picking up the pen and deciding to be the author of your own story. Instead of letting circumstances write the script, you start creating the script yourself. You decide what the next chapter looks like. That's the difference between drifting and designing. Now, why does the future matter so much? Because the future is what gives energy to the present. Think about it. Why does the farmer work the fields day after day? It's not just because he enjoys breaking his back in the sun. It's because he sees the harvest in his mind. The promise of what's coming pulls him through the work of today. Why does the student stay up late studying? It's not because they love the textbooks. It's because they see the diploma, the career, the life that comes afterward. The future gives meaning to the struggle. The problem is, when people stop painting a picture of their future, they run out of fuel. They stop dreaming. They stop imagining what could be. And when you lose that vision, the days feel empty. You might still go to work, pay the bills, keep busy, but there's no fire inside. It's not that life is too hard, it's that the future isn't compelling enough to keep you moving forward. You've got to give your mind something exciting to chase, something that pulls you, not something you're always pushing for. That's the difference. When the future is compelling, It feels like a magnet drawing you in. You don't have to drag yourself out of bed in the morning. You don't have to force yourself into action. You get up with energy because you're being pulled forward by a vision that excites you. The most successful people understand this. They always carry a picture of the future so vivid that it feels real. They can see it before it arrives. That's why they keep moving, even when times are tough. It's not discipline alone that keeps them going. It's the vision of what's ahead. The key is that your future has to be more than just things. A new car, a bigger house, more money. Those can inspire you for a little while, but they won't sustain you long term. If your future is only about stuff, you'll get tired of chasing it. A truly compelling future is connected to who you want to become, the values you want to live by, and the difference you want to make. It's about fulfillment, not just achievement. When your future is connected to your values, it gives you energy that doesn't run out. When your future is tied to growth and contribution, it becomes the kind of future that excites you every day. That's what you've got to design. A picture of tomorrow that's so rich, so clear, and so inspiring that it makes today worth living at full speed. And here's the promise. Once you create a future that pulls you, everything in the present shifts. You stop drifting. You stop wasting time. You stop wondering what's the point. Suddenly, your daily actions feel connected to something greater. You start to walk with purpose, and people around you notice the difference. So ask yourself again, does your future excite you? If not, it's time to design one that does. Because when your future is compelling enough, you don't just live, you thrive. And you'll discover that the energy for today is hidden in the vision of tomorrow. People lose motivation because they stop imagining tomorrow. The moment you stop seeing a picture of what could be, life starts to feel like you're just going through the motions. Vision is what creates energy. It's what sparks hope and gives direction. Without it, even the smallest tasks feel heavy. You wake up not because you're excited, but because you have to. What makes a future compelling is not just wishful thinking or daydreams. A compelling future is one you can actually see with clarity. It's painted so vividly in your imagination that you can almost feel it, touch it, and step into it. It has to be bigger than just getting by, bigger than surviving. A compelling future stirs your heart and fuels your mind. It becomes compelling when it excites you more than your present. It pulls you forward, like a magnet. You don't need someone to constantly remind you or push you. The vision itself becomes the force that drives you. That's why people with strong vision seem unstoppable. They're not working harder than everyone else. They're simply pulled by something bigger than their current circumstances. And here's the truth, your future becomes compelling when it's not only about what you want to achieve, but also about who you want to become. Money, recognition, or possessions can give you a boost for a short while, but they don't create lasting excitement. What lasts is when your future reflects your growth, your contribution, and the value you bring to others. That's when you wake up each day with fire in your spirit. So if life feels heavy, it's not because your goals are too high. It's because your vision isn't high enough. Lift it. Imagine more. Create a future that makes today worth showing up for. That's what makes a future compelling. Because if your picture of tomorrow is only about things, you'll get tired of chasing it. The shine wears off quickly. A new car feels old in a few years. A bigger house eventually feels normal. But when your future is connected to your values and your identity, who you want to be, not just what you want to have, it carries lasting power. The future must inspire you, but it must also stretch you. It has to be bigger than your comfort zone. If it doesn't challenge you, it won't change you. The right kind of future feels both exciting and a little intimidating. That's the balance. It pulls you forward and forces you to grow. So how do you create that kind of future? First, get clarity. You can't move toward a fog. Sit down and decide what you truly want. Not what others expect from you. Not what society says, but what matters to you. Second, practice visualization. See it in detail. Picture yourself living it, feeling it, experiencing it. The clearer the picture, the stronger the pull. Third, build habits that align with that vision. A compelling future isn't built in one leap. It's created by the daily steps you take. Your routines should reflect the person you're becoming. Fourth, commit to contribution. A future that's only about yourself won't sustain your energy. When your future involves serving, helping, or lifting others, it gains a deeper purpose. And finally, shape your environment. Surround yourself with people, places, and influences that support your vision. Growth is hard when your environment pulls in the opposite direction. That's how you create a compelling future, one that inspires, stretches, and ultimately transforms you. Don't settle for vague wishes like I want to be successful or I want to be happy. What does that actually look like for you? The sharper your picture, the stronger your direction. Visualization. Practice seeing it until it feels real. Spend time every day, imagining yourself already living in that future. The mind believes what it consistently sees. And when your vision feels real inside, you'll naturally take steps to make it real outside. Habits align your daily actions with your vision. The future isn't built on occasional bursts of effort. It's built on what you do consistently. Small, simple habits, done daily, create massive results over time. Energy. Keep your emotional state strong, protect your mindset, your attitude, your focus. Success doesn't just require skill, it requires energy. The way you feel each day either pulls you closer to your vision or pushes you further away. Contribution. Tie your future to serving others for lasting fulfillment. When your vision is only about yourself, the excitement fades quickly. But when your future involves helping, giving, and creating value for others, it gains depth, meaning, and staying power. Entrepreneurs or everyday people who created compelling futures. People who once stood at the starting line with nothing but a vision in their minds. They didn't wait for circumstances to be perfect. They let the picture of tomorrow drive the work of today. Show how vision pulled them forward. The athlete who trained before dawn, not because it was easy, but because they could see themselves holding the medal long before it was real. The entrepreneur who endured setbacks, failures, and rejection, yet stayed the course because the vision of building something greater kept pulling them through. Even everyday people, teachers, parents, students who created a future filled with meaning by choosing a vision bigger than the obstacles in their way. When you look at their stories, the common thread isn't luck or talent, it's vision. That clear, compelling picture of what could be is what carried them forward when nothing else seemed to work. I want to challenge you tonight before you go to bed. Before you call this day finished, take a blank page and write down your vision for your life. Don't just think about it. Don't just hope for it. Put it in writing. Because there's something powerful about moving an idea from your head onto paper. When you write it down, it begins to take shape. It goes from being a wish to becoming a plan. Most people go through their lives without ever deciding what they truly want. They drift. They get caught in routines, habits, and patterns, waiting for life to change on its own. But life doesn't change on its own. You have to change it, and it starts with clarity of vision. The clearer you are about where you're going, the easier it becomes to know what steps to take. So tonight, don't let the day end without writing it down. Ask yourself, what do I really want my future to look like? Not just next week or next month, but 3 years from now, 5 years from now, even 10 years down the road. What do you want to be doing? Who do you want to be with? What kind of person do you want to have become? Now here's the truth I want you to remember. When your future is compelling enough, your present changes. That's the secret. You don't wait for the future to arrive before you feel inspired. You let the picture of the future give you energy today. You let tomorrow's vision shape today's decisions. Think about it. If you had a future that absolutely thrilled you, would you wake up the same way in the morning? No. You'd wake up with energy. You'd wake up with purpose. You wouldn't need someone to push you or remind you. The vision itself would be pulling you out of bed, pulling you into action, pulling you toward growth. And the reverse is also true. If you don't have a future that excites you, every little thing in the present feels heavy. Work feels like a grind. Problems feel like mountains. The days feel long. It's not that your life is harder than everyone else's. It's that you don't have a vision strong enough to carry you through. So tonight, write it down. Write down what you want with vivid detail. Don't just say, I want to be successful. Describe what success looks like for you. Don't just say, I want to be happy. Describe what happiness means to you, what you're doing, who you're with, how you feel. The clearer the detail, the stronger the pull. And don't be afraid to dream big. Don't edit your vision to fit your current circumstances. Don't shrink your future down to the size of your present. The whole point of vision is that it stretches you. It grows you. It challenges you to become more than you are today. Now maybe you're thinking, but what if I write it down and I don't reach it? What if I fail? Let me tell you something. Writing a vision doesn't guarantee you'll reach every single detail. But it does guarantee you'll go further than if you never had a vision at all. A ship without a destination may drift anywhere, but a ship with a destination will always travel further, even if storms push it off course. The act of deciding where you're going already puts you ahead of most people who never decide. When you write down your vision, something inside of you shifts. Suddenly you're no longer living by default. You're living by design. You start to notice opportunities you once ignored. You begin to feel energy where you once felt fatigue. You begin to see possibilities where before you saw problems. And here's another important point. Your vision shouldn't just be about money or material possessions. Those things are nice, but they don't sustain you for the long term. Your vision should be tied to your values and your identity. It should reflect who you want to become, not just what you want to have. Because when your vision is tied to who you are becoming, it never runs out of fuel. Think of someone who has built a truly compelling life. Chances are their vision wasn't just about making money. It was about making a difference. It was about growth, contribution, service. That's what lasts. That's what gives you energy that doesn't fade. So tonight, when you sit down with that piece of paper, don't just write down the stuff you want. Write down the person you want to become. Write down the values you want to live by. Write down how you want to contribute to the lives of others. That's the kind of vision that will keep you excited for years to come. And here's the best part. Once you have a vision like that, everything in the present changes. Suddenly, your daily habits make sense. Suddenly, you know why discipline matters. Suddenly, you know why growth matters. The vision gives meaning to the work. It gives meaning to the struggle. It gives meaning to the grind. So remember, when your future is compelling enough, your present changes. If you're struggling in the present, don't just try to fix today. Fix your vision of tomorrow. Make it bigger. Make it brighter. Make it so clear and exciting that it pulls you out of bed in the morning. And if you do this, if you take the time tonight to write it down, you'll already be ahead of 90% of the people around you. Because most people don't take the time. They hope. They wish. They wait. But not you. You're going to write it. You're going to see it. You're going to let it pull you forward. Now, before we close, I want to invite you to take this journey further. If this message spoke to you, if it lit a fire inside of you, then I want you to subscribe, because this isn't a one-time lesson. It's a lifelong journey. Every week we share insights, strategies, and stories to help you grow, to help you stay focused, and to help you build the life you deserve. Don't do this journey alone. Surround yourself with voices that remind you of who you can become. Join a community of people who are serious about growth, about vision, about creating a future that excites them. Subscribe today and keep feeding your mind with the kind of ideas that can transform your life. So here's the final challenge. Tonight, write down your vision. Tomorrow, begin to live by it. And every day after that, keep letting your future shape your present. Because the moment you do, you'll stop drifting and you'll start designing. And that's when life gets exciting.